Hi, I'm Barbara Bartline, the People Pro. I'm a clinical psychotherapist with over 25 years of experience of working with couples. I'm here to give you the tools, the tricks, the techniques to help you build your relationship and create the marriage of your dreams. How is your communication? Let's talk today about defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are the things that get in the way of people connecting at an intimate level. Now, you can find out about your defense mechanisms by logging on to www.whydidimarryyouanyway.com and click on the quiz, How is your communication? I have them all listed there, and you can identify which ones, on occasion, you just might use. Now, I'm the first to emphasize, please do not eliminate all your defense mechanisms. We actually need them to work in this world. I don't want you going out there to buy a used car without defense mechanisms or watching info commercials without defense mechanisms. You'll be buying knives to cut up your shoes and things. No, there's a reason we have defense mechanisms. They protect us in the world because the world can be a tough place. But here's the glitch. When you really want to get close to somebody, you need to be able to tear down those defense mechanisms. You need to be able to tear down the walls between you. So let's take a look at some of the common defense mechanisms that people use. The first defense mechanism is denial. Not believing or understanding how we operate. Being in denial of our own actions, beliefs, our ways of operating. In fact, maybe not believing it when other people tell us. Denial. It's hard to see sometimes things in ourselves. It's always easier to see it in somebody else. Another defense mechanism people frequently use is projection. This is projecting onto other people what we actually feel, think, or behave. We may get into rescuing. Bailing out other people. Again, it's a defense mechanism. I see this a lot with people and their children. They bail them out of consequences which really could be good learning experiences. You also see rescuing sometimes in families, where one person in a family is viewed as kind of a black sheep and everybody else takes care of them. Rescuing is a defense mechanism. Another defense mechanism is stamp collecting, also known as museum keeping. Keeping track of all the issues, the history we have with someone without ever bringing it up, or worse, never letting it go, bringing it up over and over again. By the way, women are very good at stamp collecting. They can remember what happened years ago and in the heat of an argument, bring it up to try and score a winning point. We have a rule at our house. We don't allow any stamp collecting. In fact, we don't allow bringing up anything from the past unless it's a positive experience. As my husband so expertly puts it, we have plenty of new things to fight about without bringing up all those things from the past. It's a defense mechanism. Another defense mechanism you see is manipulation. Trying to get your needs met indirectly, oftentimes saying one thing when really you mean something else. For example, your spouse asks you what you want for your birthday and you say, oh, nothing, anything is fine. When in reality, you do have your heart set on something. Be careful about manipulating. Communication is difficult enough without saying one thing when you really mean another. Another mechanism people use is censoring. This is having a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts about how people think and act and believe. It's easy to tell if you are censoring because you actually say things like, he should know that. She should be doing that by now. Shoulds are a way to try to manipulate other people. Sometimes when people do a lot of censoring to me with a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts, I feel like saying, don't should on me. I'm sick of it. Get away from censoring. Some other defense mechanisms include rationalizing. And by the way, guys, this is one you really excel at. Men love to rationalize and intellectualize and offer very vivid arguments about things. But rationalizing is really a defense mechanism, and it's a way to get away from the feelings and what's really going on. You may also find at times that either you or your spouse get into passive-aggressive behavior. What this refers to is being passive when an event is actually happening, and then getting aggressive after the time has passed. And again, you're not meaning what you really say or saying what you really mean. Another defense mechanism that I see in marriages is over-controlling, believing there's one right way to do something. And of course, why is it right? Because it's my way. We get into trying to control the other person, being rigid, being inflexible, being demanding at times, or getting very impatient when the other people around us don't go along. Over-controlling gets in the way and can end up in terrible power struggles in any relationship. And last but not least, shutting down. Punishing people with silence, either verbally or non-verbally. I once had a couple come to see me that hadn't talked in 4 months. And let me tell you something about the shutting down. It gets hard to maintain. In fact, it takes a lot of energy to maintain it because it's so hard not to verbalize to somebody else. Shutting down, by the way, is a very common defense mechanism that women use. They draw away, they shut down, they give the spouse the silent treatment. All of these defense mechanisms get in the way of the intimacy in your relationship. What I'd like you to do is run off a copy of the quiz from whydidimarryyouanyway.com and circle all the defense mechanisms that you use. And then I want you to pick just one that you're willing to work on. Breaking down the barriers between you and your spouse by identifying derailers and defense mechanisms will help the two of you get closer and more intimate than ever.